screen on some having to look at my face. Okay. I want to talk about friendship, I guess, and what I actually think of them. And, you know, hopefully this isn't skipping and stuff. Anyway, I'll just try not to look at the screen. Something else won't come up if the internet's being weird or something. Or it's just taking so much energy just to do this video. I don't really know. But, okay, so this is about friendship. Just basic friendship. Not about any particular friendship I have or whatever. But what I actually just think of friendship. When I think about my friends who have friends, I find myself just exhausted at, trying to do and be everything they are with their friends. It just sounds overwhelming. Like I don't even want what they have. It sounds really exhausting. The friends that I have and the way I see them is kind of, they're people that I can talk to, and talking about this stuff is harder than talking about, stuff I'm really interested in. It's like I can't speak when I'm talking about stuff that I'm not especially interested or passionate about. And so that's probably why some people don't see this part of me, is because I talk about what I'm interested in. And these videos have been more about me and the way I see life, and so it's not something that gets me like horribly passionate, because this is everyday to me. So my friends, they are people that I talk to, and if I'm not already tired of being around people, I kind of pick and choose when I go and do stuff with them, because I guess it's not so much on my schedule as more of a emotional convenience, I guess, to be around my friends. Or even their families. Like, being with my friends' families is really frustrating, because then I'm sitting there like, I bet these people don't even understand why their children are friends with me, or their relatives are friends with me. They're probably looking at me like, how are you friends with these people? Or even some people in particular, they'll know who I'm talking about, but all of their neighbors, I think that's why their neighbors they kind of avoid me, because I don't think they understand how my friends can be my friends. But I don't know, one of my friends is just really patient. She prayed for patience for the longest time, and now she's patient, and she's very patient, and I don't know how sometimes I don't know how she's my friend, because I don't really understand how I have any friends. But the friends I do have are, I feel like I hate this, but I feel like I'm like kind of self-centered in my friendships. I realize as I've tried to fix my behaviors that I tend to really focus in on me, and sometimes I'll try to find things that me and my friends have in common and talk about that, but like when I'm listening to their stuff and their opinion on something, basically I'm listening, like physically listening, like I can hear them, and I kind of know what they're saying, but really I'm just waiting until I can interject and, say something else. And I wish I could listen better, like I could, not physically, but, emotionally actually take in what they're saying and emotionally really, really care about their opinion. And that's what frustrates me about friendship for sure, is that I saw something I read about Asperger's that said we seem narcissistic, but we're not. And sometimes I feel narcissistic, for sure. I feel like it's all about me. And even somebody I used to know, he sang this song to me. It's not really a song, but he'd sing a rhyme, very short rhyme. He'd say, "It's all about me, Stephanie." That's my name, if y'all didn't know. So, like, and then even back then, I'm talking about somebody I knew like 10 years ago, and I remember him making fun of me because I threw, not that day, but later, I threw a tantrum, I guess. I went in my room 10 years ago, and I was so angry about something that I screamed. I just screamed at the top of my lungs, and he yelled through the door, to scream into my pillow. And I did, but it didn't satisfy my need to scream. I needed it really loud. And sometimes when I'm crying about my stuff that I have going on now, I need to scream. I need to, not just scream, but yell and really cry loudly. Otherwise, I don't feel like I'm crying. It's just, I've cried, my little tears, but that's not releasing everything I feel unless I scream. Anyway, so back to friendship. To me, it's just exhausting, and I don't know how anybody does it. And to be honest, I rarely really care about having friendships. I like being alone, and the only reason that I've ever felt differently is because I know that I should care about having friendships. And so I try to be normal, and I try to act like I care, but I honestly just don't, because they tire me out. I like having people to talk to, so that's why I have anybody I call friends, but I'm going to try to stop being so self-centered in my friendships. I don't know how well that's going to work, so, okay, that's all. Bye-bye.